for the gift of life, for his mercy that endureth forever. By his mercy we are not consumed.
So welcome to another video of a day in my life as a trader. And I know that some of you might be wondering of the background change. The reason for that is because my school is on vacation, so I actually come back home to my brother's house, And also, have any of you noticed that this month the market has been really slow? The market has been so slow. Unlike Nasdaq, I'm going to show you some things in the chart, okay? We'll get to that. So today is nothing much. I'm just going to be, do my push-up, clean the house, and then get to the chart. I'm also expecting two of my friends today. One of them is a YouTube streamer. I'm going to put the link to his channel here in this particular video. And the other one, I'm trying to, show him the strategy I use to trade the financial market. And if you're also interested in the strategy I use to trade the financial market, I'm going to put the link to the video where I explain everything. I'm going to put it here in the description also in this particular video. So let's just get the day started. Let's just see how this day is going to be. You know that in the beginning of the video, I said I was waiting for two of my friends to come today. I was actually hoping to make the video with them, all right? But it turns out that none of them will be coming today because of some things they have to do. So in this particular clip, I will actually be talking about a little bit about the market direction. While I'm sharing the trades I took today, which is on Friday, I will also be talking about market direction. I will try my very best to make a separate video on that where I will break everything down, but the little information I'm going to be sharing in this video will also help you to understand it. Because market direction, in my own opinion, my own simple and with the little knowledge I have about the market, is very easy for you to understand market direction. So let's just get into the charts. Let's just get to the business of this particular clip. I took this particular Nasdaq trade. But then for this second entry I took today, so I was not able to explain this second entry, but it is basically the same thing, okay? So let me share with you guys the easy way to actually understand market direction. Now, understanding market direction, you need to understand your basic, higher highs and your basic type of trends. Okay, so this is like their simple form, but then in the more difficult, which is the more realistic form of the market, you're going to have something like this. Have this pullback, market does something like this, market comes, puts in higher low, have something like this, something like this, come down, low before going up, and then come here, form something here, come down. Now, since this is the more realistic form of the markets, I'm going to be explaining the two. Now, to understand market direction, just like I said, you need to understand your basic lower highs and lower low, or higher highs or higher low. Now, if you look at this chart, how do you get to understand that this is the lowest point, or this is the break of structure, this is the higher high? Now, the lowest point that puts in the highest point is where you have the break of structure. Okay, it's like the external market structure and the internal market structure. Now, the external market structure is more like the higher time frame, which is what I'm drawing here. Now, in the higher time frame, the lowest point that puts in the highest points will now become your swing low and your swing high, whatever I want to call it. Right, so everything in between is now the internal market structure. So this is going to be your higher low, and then this will be your higher high. Just like I said, this is not the complete video. I'm just trying to explain something to you guys. Okay, now let me stop here. Now, as soon as price creates this new higher high, as soon as price take out this higher high, which means we now have a break of structure in the higher time frame. A break of structure. We now have a break of structure here. Now, in the higher time frame, this pullback is going to be a retracement in the higher time frame, but then in the lower time frame, you will definitely see this minor market structure shift, which means this will be the lower time frame. For example, you have your market structure shift, you have your inducement, and then you take trade for a sell. Okay, I'm coming. So you're going to have your market structure shift here, market structure shift around this zone. You are going to have your inducement definitely, and then you have price taps into your order block or breakout block. To confirm the inducement, which I've already talked about, there's definitely going to be a break of structure. Okay, now this is what happened in the lower time frame. This is what happened in the lower time frame, whereby in the higher time frame it will just be a pullback. In the higher time frame, it will be a retracement in the higher time frame, but that retracement in the lower time frame, you can actually take sell position even if the overall direction of the market is in a buy, is a buying market. Okay, now if you are taking the sell, your take profit will be the nearest liquidity zone. Let's say since market is pulling down in the lower time frame, you are taking sell, your take profit will going to be the lowest point, which means the recent low is where you will be targeting. Okay, now another thing you need to take note of is if the market, which means the market structure, the liquidity, which is the inducement, and the break of structure and the point of interest, if it is available in the higher time frame, you are going to target that particular area, which means if you are taking your profit, you will be targeting the recent low, which means the nearest low, we target it until price gets to, in the higher time frame, until price gets to, let me say, a breaker block or order block level. So I'm going to put, let's say, order block here, right? Now this order block in the higher time frame, if this order block has a liquidity, which means an inducement protecting it, you are going to take your buy directly from there, which means you no longer need to go down to the lower time frame to confirm your market structure shift or your inducement. I hope you understand. Okay, so if the higher time frame point of interest has inducement protecting it, because the market has retraced down to actually align with the overall trend, you get, because this is going to be a retracement, right, in the higher time frame. Now that retracement, you can take a sell in the lower time frame to target the 4-hour zone. Let me say a 4-hour recent low, a 4-hour order block, a 4-hour breaker block, because you are trading against the market trend, against the overall market trend, you get. So since price is approaching this 4-hour, or let me say any high time frame, since price is approaching it, if this higher time frame has a liquidity zone protecting it, you can then look for a buy position as soon as price gets here, take the trade to the upside. The reason for that is because the market has aligned with the overall trend. So let me just go to the chart. Let me explain it for you guys on this particular Nasdaq trade. So that's the reason why I took this Nasdaq trade. So let me go to 4-hour time frame. Now in the 4-hour time frame, in the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see that the price is in an uptrend, because we're having the higher highs and the higher low, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, like that, higher low. Now as soon as price formed a new break of structure, which means as soon as price took out this high, okay, now in the 4-hour time frame, you can see that this is just a pullback. This is just a pullback in the 4-hour time frame. But then if I go to the lower time frame, let's say 30 minutes time frame, or is it with 30 minutes time frame at 2 this entry from? Let me see. Now in the 30 minutes time frame, you can see that there is a market structure shift in the lower time frame, right? We had this break of this market structure shift, MSS. Originally, this is going to be our break of structure, right? I'm coming. We had this break of structure, right? Now after this break of structure, we had this pullback, which is this inducement, and then confirming that this inducement has become valid, we had this break of structure. So let me remove this one. So we have the market structure shift, right? We have the first pullback here after the market structure shift. You can pick this one, because I also answered this question. You can pick this one as your inducement, as long as this one that I picked has not tapped into this, into this point of interest yet, it is still valid. Okay, so I explain it in the video where I explain all the strategy. Like I said in the first clip, I'll put the link in this particular video. So we had our break of structure, confirmed the inducement, and then I took for entry for a sell. Now you can notice that the take profit for this particular entry, because at this point the higher time frame is a buying market, okay, but then the lower time frame, since price has created a new break of structure, market will need to, because price is an uptrend, right? So price will need to form a new higher low before creating another higher high. So you can see that my take profit was for price to actually come clear out this nearest liquidity zone, which is this recent low, right? The reason for that was because I took a buy entry from this particular place. The reason for that was because I was expecting price to respect this order block because there is an inducement protecting this order block, but price did not respect this order block. Instead, market continue coming down. Now for continuation, we use break of structure. I'm going to show you the before of this particular one I'm going to talk about now. I'll show you in the Telegram channel. So for continuation, we use break of structure. For reversal, we use market structure shift. Now after this break of structure, we have this pullback. Now this pullback, let's break of structure, we have this pullback, confirming this inducement as this pullback. We have it here. Remember, this is the 3-hour time frame, so if I go down to the lower time frame, you definitely see that market broke structure after that inducement. Now the point of interest, since I was using this particular order block as my point of interest to buy to the upside and market disrespected it, it has now become a breakout block. So I was actually hoping for market to come tap me in, and then I was going to sell to this particular place. Now pay attention before I go and show you this trade that I took. Now you can see that the take profit, which means my take profit, was for price to tap into this order block. The reason for that is because the overall direction of the market is in an uptrend, right? Now since price is retracing back, it's just a retracement to align with the original market trend before buying back up. Now you see that I did not wait for price to actually come to this. As soon as price came to this zone, I did not wait for market structure shift in the lower time frame. The reason for that is because one, we're in an uptrend. Secondly, this order block has an inducement protecting it in this higher time frame as well. Okay, assuming there is no order block protecting it, as soon as price gets here, I will need to then go down to the lower time frame, look for market structure shift before buying back up. So let me show you the Telegram. Let me show you the before of that particular trade. Let me show you the before of that trade, which means they sell. Oh, coming. This is it. So I was actually, this is the Nasdaq 2-hour time frame. I was actually looking forward to sell to this zone and then before buying back up. So you see that the market missed my sell position but then triggered my buy position. Now another thing you need to take note of is the reason why the take profit for this buy position now is this highest point, because the original market trend is in an uptrend, right? So this retracement that market actually made in the higher time frame is to create a new lower low and then put in a new higher high, right? So that's the reason why I target that place as my take profit. And then for the second entry, you can notice that I target this, this nearest liquidity zone. That's what I target for the second entry. Okay, so this first entry is the overall direction that I'm expecting price to actually create a new higher high. So I hope you find this particular clip helpful, and that is just how you understand market direction. Now assuming there is no other block here, just like I said, I will go down to the lower time frame and look for a market structure shift. So let me talk about this particular trade. Now this structure, you still have your higher low and your higher high. Okay, the lowest point I put in the highest point is where you have the swing high or swing low or break of structure or higher lows and higher high. So all here you still have your higher low. These are still your higher low. So as soon as price puts in a new higher high, if market is going to retrace back, it will not just come down straight. in the lower time frame, you start seeing market structure shift, patterns is going to form. Okay, so in that video, you are going to explain the entry model. So this is just the market structure, and this is just the market direction. And I'm going to make another video talking about the market structure fully. So in the next video I'm going to make, I'm just going to just talk about the complete information. But with this particular information I just share with you guys now, you will be able to understand market direction. Okay, understanding market direction is very, very easy. You just need to understand your market trends. Okay, if you watch the video to this very end, do well to drop a love icon in the comment section. And if you find this video helpful with the vlogs and every other thing, also drop a love icon in the comment section. I hope you guys are watching each and every video when I talk about the strategy, and I hope you guys are practicing it. Okay, if you're maybe stuck with anything you don't understand, you can drop it in the comment section and I will look into it. See you guys next week.